Welcome back to our class. We are going to be doing part 1. We are still in Unit 9. We're going to be finishing that. This is for Ventures 4 for Kcpc, and as if we were on the day of 5/28/20. So first I would like to point out that the contraction for I would is I'd. I'd. We are going to start on page 120 in our Ventures student book, and we're going to be actually finishing the rest of that lesson. So this is what that page is going to look like. And it's going to be B, solve the problem, give your opinion. Everyone, Joshua rents an apartment. He has a leaky faucet in the bathroom sink. He hates to waste water, and he is worried the leak will get worse. He tried to fix it, but he couldn't stop the leak. He called the landlord, but the landlord hasn't returned his call. What should he do? So I would like you to write down 3 or 4 ideas in your notebook as to what you think he can do. I'm going to do the same on my whiteboard. Okay, so these are some of the things that I thought of. I'm sure you'll have others. I have never been in this situation where I've had to call a landlord for something, but if you live in an apartment building, of course, you can just go to the office. Sometimes they fix it right away, so I've heard, or other times they don't. So you can also write an email or text. And the reason that I suggest that and people suggest that is that then you have proof that you tried to do something about the situation right away so that you would not be liable for what happened. It's also a good idea to take a picture of whatever is happening so that you also have proof because it also has the date on the day that you took the picture. The other thing that you can do is to send a registered letter and they have to sign for it. And so that takes a little bit longer, but that's another possibility. The other one is you just call a plumber and then send them the bill and try to deal with it after that. It would also depend upon whether you're paying your water bill or if that's included in the rental of your apartment and included in the lease that they're paying for it. So if they're paying for it, I would think they would be more likely to start fixing it sooner. The other is to call a friend who might know how to fix these things, either someone that you know in your church or in your community or a neighbor or someone that you know. So I'm sure you have other ideas, but I obviously don't know what they're going to be. So here we have finished page 120, part B. Let's move on to page 121, please. And it says grammar connections. The present real conditional versus the present unreal conditional. So what does VS mean? Against, the opposite of. Okay, everyone, use present real conditional when something is possible or always true. Use present unreal conditional when something is not possible or not likely. And the examples they give for that are present real, if I have time, I walk to school. I do that. I walk to school. The other example, if you heat water to 212 degrees Fahrenheit, it boils. So this is something possible and or always true. The present unreal would be stated this way. If I found a large bag of money, I would give it to charity. So it's not a real situation, it's pretend. So you're going to use the word would. And that was where the contraction I'd came from. The contraction for I would. Trying to make sure that you can see all that. The next one, if I were a bird, I'd fly all over the world. You are not a bird, so this is present unreal, so you're going to use the would part, I would. A, work in a small group, play the game. Write your name on a small, we're not going to do that. We're just going to read each one and you're going to, in the presence of your home, say out loud the statement that you want to make and I will say one too. Okay, so if I'm late, the example is, if I'm late to English class, I come in quietly. Obviously, there's going to be a wide variety of answers, but we're just going to go through and I want you to have the practice of doing it. Everyone, if I'm late to class, if I'm late to English class, so possibilities are, I come in quietly, I apologize quietly and sit down. That's what I came up with. Okay, next. If I went on my dream vacation, so this is fantasy, so this is going to be the would. Wish I could hear what you were saying. So I'm putting down, if I went on my dream vacation, I would go to Europe, Italy, go to Ireland, Italy, London, and Greece. The next, if I didn't need to sleep, so I put, I would accomplish so much more. Would. The next one, if I won the lottery, I would try to be as generous as possible. Next, if I'm thirsty, I drink a glass of water. No would. This is real. The next one, if I bought all new appliances, I would be very, very happy. Next, if the weather is nice, I'll take a walk around my yard. Okay? If I only rode my bicycle, I'd have really strong legs. Next, if I don't understand something, yes, I always go to Google. Next, if I were the leader of my country, I would balance knowledge and reason. Next, if I stay up too late, I am not at my best in the morning. Next, if I don't eat breakfast, I try to eat an early lunch. Next, if I could do one thing to save our planet, it would be to fund research to study and create necessary solutions. Lastly, if I were invisible, I would definitely not like it, is my answer. Okay, so there we have finished page 121. And now I would like us to please go to our workbooks. And turn to page 110. It says, read the paragraph, then complete the outline. Title, The Causes and Effects of Littering. What is that? Littering. Everyone? Littering means dropping garbage on the ground. And it's a big environmental problem in my city. So we also went over the pronunciation of environmental. Continuing, one cause is that there are not enough trash cans in the streets and parks downtown. We have no good place to throw away papers and wrappers. People don't want to carry their trash home to throw it away. Another cause is that people don't think about littering. They think that one piece of paper isn't important. They see that the street is already dirty, so they drop more litter in it. Because of the litter, the city looks ugly. Since people don't like to go shopping downtown, the stores there lose money. And litter is also expensive because the government has to pay to clean the streets. If we had more trash cans downtown, I'm sure our downtown would look a lot better and more people would go shopping there. So, what are some ideas that come into your head when you read and think about this article? How many people thought of short-sighted? What does that mean if something is short-sighted? That means if you are thinking about something here, you're only thinking about one step ahead, as opposed to thinking about the consequences that this might have after you do that. And this is especially important when we're talking about huge problems that affect many people, like the pandemic, making sure that we are thinking far ahead of what would happen with each step that we take. Okay. So there we go, short-sighted or not. Page 110, the problem is littering. On the left side, we're going to write down the causes, and on the right side, we're going to write down the effects. Number one, cause. Not enough. What's causing something? There aren't enough trash cans in the streets. Detail. Moving down in the paragraph, no good place to throw away papers and wrappers. And people don't want to carry their trash home to throw it away. As a result, what is the effect? The city looks ugly. What else? People don't like to go downtown. It's messy. It's dirty. What else happens? Stores lose money. What else happens? I realize I'm doing all the effects first. Yes, the government has to pay people to clean the streets. So one small act or non-action leads to many consequences or effects. The other one that I thought of was that it is extremely unsanitary and it could lead to a rodent problem. Having all of that garbage in the streets could cause rats, mice. Going back on the other side with the causes, so we had not enough trash cans, no good place to throw papers and wrappers, people don't want to carry their trash home. What's another cause that creates these effects? People don't think about littering. Also, yes, they don't think one piece of paper is important. Another detail? I put down government has to pay people to clean the streets, and that's kind of like a double um, a double situation. Okay, so this is a really good example of cause and effect and unintended consequences down the line. Let's go to page 111. Complete the outline for a paragraph on the causes and effects of water pollution in a lake. Let's go through the vocabulary and then we'll do the actual work in the next segment. Everyone, bottles and cans. Lake is not good for fishing. Lake is not good for swimming. New factories allow dirty water to go into the lake. People don't want to live by the lake. People throw garbage into the lake. Plastic bags. Water is an ugly color. Water smells bad. So there are many movies that have been made about corporations and factories polluting water, and they don't like to hear that. They don't like to have their records examined, and so this causes a real problem. And actually, the unintended consequence of that is that people have to hire lawyers. It costs a lot of money. Of course, the lawyers make a lot of money, but the people who are affected by it are losing a lot of money. And usually you have to go to court. It takes a long time. People are still getting sick. So one of the problems of chemical plants that are polluting, of course, is cancer. And that has happened in this country, and I'm sure it happens in other countries too. So having environmental protection is very important for the population and for taking care, government taking care of its citizens. Okay, see you next time.